Hello, everybody. I'm back after a 2-3 week break and a little cruise. And I come back to you. Tonight we've got a lovely little freeway for you. Special treat. Lots to talk about. And we've got two wonderful guests. I've got a debut on my show tonight. The lovely Aisha.
You have done it. Yes, no problem.
Lovely to meet you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Try not to get too worried about Sunday, but it's the one game of the season I think it's the same for everyone. Just dread and I hate it. It's just, yeah.
I think it's two reasons why I'm dreading Sunday. Obviously, it's the North London derby, but also I feel like the current state of what's going on with our team with injuries, I'm not confident at all. I've got zero confidence in Man City. And I feel like that's a given. We're probably going to drop points. Saying that, though, we didn't last season. And, especially beginning of the season, we were probably not far off the situation we are now in the terms of it wasn't injuries, but it was still getting the experience and gelling the team. But I just feel like it's Spurs and City again. It's that whole dynamic of what happened last season. It's like them and then City. And then last season, it was like them and then City, which denied us points. And I just feel like if they do us over at the weekend and then we lose to City, it's going to be 6 points dropped and they're going to love it. So, but saying that though, I've got a good mate at work who's a Spurs fan and she's very, I don't think you're going to beat us at the weekend. She came up to me at work and said, I don't think, even with your injuries, I don't think you're going to beat us this weekend.
Oh, let's hope so. I mean, I don't know where Bez has gone. Bez has had enough and left.
He's done it. He's noped out. He's like, I don't want to hear this.
I couldn't even introduce him. He's already gone. This is how it's going. And we're down to 2.
I'm sure he'll be back.
Yes, I'm sure he will be. But he's coming back to us.
Sorry.
Here we go.
Someone just called me. I said to them, don't call me. I'm in a podcast. They still call me. Bloody hell, man.
You missed a pop then. Here he is. How you doing, Bez?
Besides the crazy dramatic entrance, shall we say, I'm pretty good, thank you. How about yourself?
You did that on purpose, I reckon. I love it. All right.
It's called the Darth Vader presence. I feel it all around me.
That's it, yeah. That's a nice little tribute to the main man himself. Up in the sad news this week.
I'm already trying to be a bit emotional, but trying to hang it there together.
Go on.
Did you see what they did on the Empire State Building to him? I
did see that, yes.
That was I actually though. I'm trying to distract myself from the weekend by just being super happy today because I got Lincoln Park tickets. So that's I'm trying to occupy my brain away from Spurs with that.
How does that work? Because obviously have they got another singer? Because sadly Chester Bennington left us.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got another singer now, have they? I mean, I haven't got a clue.
Yeah, they went for a female. And she's been in bands before. She can do the shouting. She's very melodic as well.
Oh, okay.
They did a live show online last week, and then to sort of introduce it, and then they just went, we're going to do 4 dates around the world, and then just basically went, tickets go on sale this time. And it was like, oh, okay, they're going to be like, and then when they said, oh, it's going to be September, me and my cousin, who I go to my gigs with, she went, oh yeah, it'll be like 2025. Then she phoned me up and went, it's 2024. It's the 24th of September, 2024. I was like, that's like less than 2 weeks. She went, yeah. I was like, okay, well, we got to get on these tickets then. So she texts me today, like I'm a teacher, and she texted me today, and she went, she just put, I've got them on the message. And I went, yes, like this. And technically we shouldn't really have our phones out because it's a bad example for the kids. And one of the kids I teach, he's a little bit of a joker. He went, oh, miss, I'm going to tell the head that you had your phone out. I went, listen here. I went, never got to see them the first time round. Singer died. So now I'm going to go and see them. My cousin's queued to get tickets on this bloody phone line. And then he went, all right, miss, that's a proper sad story. I won't say anything. I was like, yeah. So that's what I'm distracting myself from the North London derby with.
Fair enough. Talking of distractions, George, hello.
George,
where you come from? What a treat.
I'm right. I thought I'd surprise you, come up on the show for a little while.
Oh, what a man you are.
How you been?
Yeah, all right, mate. I've got over Surrey's dismal performance in the cricket earlier. Wow. I won't talk about that. Absolutely shocking.
I was a bit torn with that because I support Somerset at the same time.
Ah, dear, fair enough, yeah. Brilliant result for them, but yeah,
Yeah, it was.
absolutely catastrophic. But lovely. Well, a pleasant surprise, George.
That's all right, mate.
Almost as good as the news. So it's been a good news day. You've got Linkin Park tickets. George is there. And
Arteta.
Mikel Arteta. Yes, I'm getting to that. Yes, and
No,
got a free. Yeah, come on. Yeah. And got signed a 3-year deal till 2027. I presume everyone's happy with that.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And I think he did the right. Does anyone else here? I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all, but does anyone else think it's ever so slightly funny that he signs this deal the day the City trial starts, and everyone keeps linking him to City if we don't do anything? Yeah, I don't know. I just looked at it. I went, that's a bit funny. He's like proper nailing his colours to the mast and saying, "This is where I'm staying. This is what I'm doing." Because that rumour's going to be rife in the summer if he hadn't signed a contract. Because we know Pep's going.
There's more rumours linking him with the England job as well.
What, Arteta?
No, Guardiola.
Guardiola. Ooh. Do you know what? I'll be honest. I don't know what anyone else thinks. I was really turned off that bloke about the stuff with the national anthem. I don't care if you don't like the royal family, and I don't care if you don't agree with sing God Save the King or whatever, God Save the Queen. But that national anthem stands for much more than just a royal family. And I just when I saw him,
I've got something to completely go against that as well.
Go on then. No, I love a bit of this.
Would you rather him sing the national anthem when it means nothing to him?
No, do you know what, Jules? That's a really, really good point, and I get it, and I agree. Yeah. It's just as somebody that always feels. I suppose it's because like one of my backgrounds is military history, and I go to a lot of there's a lot of like pomp and ceremony with this sort of stuff. I suppose I've almost had it ingrained in me over the years, but I do get what you're saying. That's even worse, isn't it? Because
it's fake, isn't it? It's fake. So like I'll be honest, I'm probably more of a Ben White England supporter than I'm not really the most bothered, as Brooksy will tell you, about England recent time, but I didn't really find an issue as much. Like if it was someone like at the end of the day, we know what the history background to it all is. Like if he sung, I'd think I'd be more annoyed if he sung the national anthem when knowing, like, mate, like you've said you're not going to sing it, and then you've gone and done it. So I suppose at least it shows in one sense he sticks to his word. So you never know, it might mean more. But yeah, I'm digressing a little bit though. But like with the Arteta stuff, I think it's a coincidence with the Man City thing. But I think more what it is that Arsenal's fan base, because they had a week off from their little meltdowns, so that we're having another one now because we've obviously got two or three players out injured, and Arsenal have never ever played a game without Martin Ødegaard, apparently, according to Twitter. So I think it's more looking at it that we've got a massive game on Sunday, a North London derby. What other better time to pick it when you've got Mikel Arteta has signed a new deal, and then you've got Bukayo. I don't know if this has been confirmed, but apparently he's meant to be captain. So
I think he will be. Yeah,
we're running out of options, mate.
I think he's the one that's had the armband when Ødegaard's not been there. So I presume
Mertesacker's playing apparently. I've heard. So like Mertesacker, Wilshere, Ganosaurus is on the right wing. But yeah, right. I'm quite happy with the Arteta news. I know there's some aspects of our fan base that are not.
I don't know how you can complain, really.
Well, is it, mate? It's 6 weeks holidays finished, hasn't it? Like, do you know what I mean? Like they're getting their maths and English timetable now. So like, I'm just like, no. Like, I honestly don't. All jokes aside, understand how anyone can be annoyed. Like I was saying before, we were 8th. Back to back, only it wasn't that long ago, and now we're back to title challenging, and I'm actually confident for Sunday. I know a lot of people aren't. Raheem Sterling, there you go. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I have to say I'm weirdly quite confident on Sunday, because they're out of shit. So I'm not really. You know, I'm not. You know, I'm
It's
never going to
Spurs,
ever
mate.
say, even if they were for once better. But yeah, I'm not. I mean, it's they haven't been very good this year. I know they beat Everton 4-0, but Everton are dog shit. So,
mate, me and you could beat Everton 4-0.
the good news is, I mean, obviously we'll talk more about it in a minute. But obviously, we're presuming Martin Ødegaard isn't playing. I mean, I haven't seen anything official yet, but it doesn't look good. But the good thing is, because we don't know, Spurs don't know. So when it comes to the training, and I presume Big Ange is doing some lovely thing and going, yeah, mate, we'll do this, mate, yeah, mate, all this sort of stuff. He doesn't. No one knows the team. No one's going to know the formation. So, we don't know who's going to play in place of him. We've all got ideas. And Waneri is a very exciting possibility.
I'd give him a go. But then saying that, I thought he was older than 17.
Yeah, he's very young. I mean, he's been very good for the England under-19s this week. If you've seen footage of him against Germany, he's looked very good. And you just don't know. It worked very well with Saka when they threw him in, and he took to it like a duck to water, bless him. But it's a big game. It's a big game. He could go someone not on purpose, but get sent off, and I just don't think he'll throw him in. But then obviously,
I don't know if you agree, Brooksy. Our options are a bit limited in that setting because I've seen people say play Timber. Well,
yeah, I don't agree with that. I think we presume Partey and Jorginho, if they're both fit, will play.
That worries me.
I know, and me, but we're not going to worry about it at the moment. People were saying Havertz will play in the middle as well, but I'd be surprised because he seems to be the striker now. So unless you're going to then put, you've got all these players. You've got obviously Saka, you've got Martinelli, you've got Trossard, Sterling, Jesus, Havertz. Now, I presume one of them is going to play in the middle three. Bez, do you think? Saka's definitely going to play if he's captain. And then you don't know.
I'll be honest with you before I cut you off. No. The only complaint I have is to be too clever because say this right. I don't want Havertz in the midfield at all. I want Havertz away from midfield. Simple as that.
I agree. After the Aston Villa home game, he should never play there again.
Yeah, I agree.
That killed me. I'm sure you remember me, Brooks. Yeah, I went all mad that certain Sunday. I mean, sorry, but Havertz is not made for midfield. You made him to a striker. Let him be a striker,
Mm-hmm.
But he did play in the Germany game the other night. He was behind Fulkrug. It's like a number 10. So I don't know.
Yeah, but that's like false 9, right? Is it false number 9?
I know, yeah. I just don't know. I think he'll leave him up front, my opinion, because he's played there.
I hope so as well. I hope so.
I would be surprised if he changes it. But then, yeah, you just worry. It's just so annoying that obviously he's got injured at the same time that Marino's injured and Rice is suspended. It's just sod's law, really. It's, they say bad luck comes in threes, and it has.
I wouldn't be surprised if, when the lineup's done, that you see a midfield three of Thomas Partey, Zinchenko.
Oh God!
I forgot about him. I just would not be. That's not what I want, but I would not be surprised. I agree with Bez. I think he's hit the nail on the head as usual. Kai Havertz up front stays where he does. The only other way I could see it is if would he go and try and put Leandro Trossard as a number 10 and then play Saka, Havertz and Martinelli, or the only other person I see is Raheem Sterling starting as a number 10.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have a rotation between Trossard, Martinelli and Sterling. You're going to have Saka stay on the wing. You're going to have Kai Havertz sit directly behind them. Your midfield's going to be probably Partey, Jorginho. I'm not sure who else I'd slot in. I'd give Enwari a go, but I think it's probably going to be Zinchenko. Your back is pretty solid, to be fair. But I definitely consider, because look, the bottom line is you just got to make sure that Spurs don't get some cheeky goal by our defence being caught unawares. Up front, we will completely dominate that area. So if it was me, I'd put everything up front and try to go like 3-0 up at half time.
Once to throw the cat amongst the pigeons, I was laughing. I was listening to the international show, Brooksy, and apparently Kivior played number 10 for Poland.
Could you imagine if he did that? The meltdown. Oh my god.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like, all jokes aside though, with Ethan Munari. If Arteta didn't rate him, why did he send people like Fabio Vieira out on loan and sell people like Smith Rowe and keep Munari? Yeah, he's definitely going to get games. Where do I start him against one of the biggest games in the season? Probably not. But it's one of those decisions. Like if he starts and scores an absolute banger and has a great first half, Arteta's a genius. If he starts him and has a horrendous game, he's made a big mistake. So I suppose the only one who knows is Arteta. I don't know. Could you see, obviously, the normal back four, but put Calafiori if he's fit at left back, and then play Timber a bit more forward? I don't know.
There's a possibility he could go over back three and play 3-5-2. I mean, I don't think he will, but
but
he could.
I tell you what, though, you say about Nwari, I personally think that the fact that he's come from the youth and the fact that he is a Hale End boy, I think the passion and the fire is there. What better game to make your first team debut than against Spurs? I mean, he's going to be up for that. He's not going to come on and go, oh, well, I'll try my best. He's going to be hungry. He's not only going to be hungry because he wants something to prove. He's going to want to put something behind them because how the rivalry is instilled, even from like the youth academy. I reckon if he's going to play him at all, he'll play him the first half or last part of the second half. But I think if he doesn't make his debut against Spurs, he won't be out against City. I think that's a given. But I think he will play the Leicester game because we are going to see him on the Emirates pitch at some point this season.
The thing is, we don't know. This is the problem. We don't know. Like, I get what you're saying about the City game, but realistically, who else we got at the moment? This was always my worry in the transfer market, is that we don't have anyone. When Martin Ødegaard not there, the only person we had was Smith Rowe, and obviously we haven't got that and we haven't replaced that. So unless Munari's going to be put into that position, I'm not saying that Munari starts against Tottenham and City. I don't mean that. But what I mean is I still think he features quite big in those games. I don't see Arsenal going, unless the only thing I could see against City is if they just played 3 defensive midfielders and just went to score a goal. But I don't know. I just think the way you listen to Arteta talk, he was comparing Munari to Cesc Fabregas at his age. And we all know how good of a player Fabregas was.
Yeah, no, I mean, Fabregas was talking about him as well.
Yeah.
I think I see on a podcast with Gary Lineker, I think, and he was singing his praises. I mean, yeah, I think he's definitely got something.
You just don't know, do you? Really?
We don't even know. I mean, we presume he's out, but until it's official, you just never know. Ødegaard could turn up on Sunday.
This is when we feel all the podcast, Brooksy, on all these injuries, and Marino, Ødegaard, they're all there.
Well, they haven't officially said anything yet, and they must have had all the scans and everything by now. So
I won't put nothing past Arteta.
Well, you never know. That's it.
Do you know what? I'm not funny, but this is obviously he really did injure himself. Obviously, he is on crutches. Obviously, he's in a lot of pain. There's no disputing that. But I do think there could be a little bit of clever manipulation going on here, because this does totally throw a spanner in the works on what our team could be. Because they could work out our team quite easily if everybody was fit. But this is a harder way to do it. I don't think, though, Ødegaard, I don't think they'd run the risk of having a big question mark over his head if they knew, because he is the captain. But at the same time, I do think the rumour going around about Xhaka getting the armband is another great thing for morale. Again, he's an academy boy coming up, doing what he's doing. That's another reason putting Nwari on. I always wonder if I say his name right.
I just call him Ethan.
Is Ethan Mwaneri? Is that right?
Yeah, there's an N in the middle.
Mwaneri. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll just call him Ethan.
I think it's Nwari.
Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossible, more like.
That's all right.
I think it's Nwari, like it's Nketiah.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much like that.
Yeah. But when I was listening to the radio, they actually called him Ranieri. So Maybe the worst team.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Could be
Claudio
worse.
was fair. I don't know. I think it's Ranieri. But obviously, I'm not a TNT or Sky Sports commentator. But I just
Well,
thought.
they don't always
Not
get.
yet-
Do you
not
remember
yet,
years
George.
ago?
No, not yet.
Do you remember years ago? It was BBC called Lumberg. Do you remember that?
The worst
No.
one. The worst
Oh,
one
was
for me was
Barry Davis was Solskjaer. I used to call him Solskjaer or something weird.
The worst-
It sounds Dutch.
the worst one was Koscielny. We had 3 different players because I remember listening to a game, and it was gone from Laurent Koscielny to Laurent Koscielny or to Koscielny. So, yeah. And Özil was the other one. Özil.
Ozil, I remember.
Yeah.
Ozil. I remember people made fun of that as well when he first came to England.
Just watch FIFA and they call Bruno Fernandes Bruno Fernandes, don't they, or something?
Yeah, Fernandes is a Portuguese way to put it. Yeah, Fernandes.
That's funny. I call him something completely
Actually-
different.
Hey, he's doing worse for me as being Albanian. When I'm under Broja, people called him, I think the British people called him Amar Broja. I mean, where did he get
Broja,
the
that's right,
JX from? Where is that from? That's a J. As every European knows in this day and age, the J is not silent. What's going on?
No, what it's like. My dad's being Turkish. He's got a very, very good grasp of the English accent, right? And like he's been here since he was 11. But sometimes with words he's not familiar with practicing. The native slips out a bit. And when we had Adebayor, he used to call him Adeboya. My mum was like, "Is he Welsh or something?"
Again, I call him something completely
Yeah,
different.
so I was just
Actually, another thing,
no.
when I met Brooksy face to face first time, he called me, "What's your real first name?" I said, Besyon. I said, how do you say it? I said, Besyon. I should know the team. I said, think Besiktas. Okay, break it down. Besyon, Besiktas, put ION. There you have it. Oh, Besyon. I was like, fuck's sake, dude. Just say anything.
Don't start about Turkish football. Right, I'll tell you a really quick story before we move on. So when I was little and I was getting used to like Turkish football, because I don't have a Turkish team, my dad does, but I'm like, my club
Who's
is
your dad support?
Fenerbahce.
Okay,
So he was like,
Fair play.
he went list all of the Turkish. No, so I was like Fenerbahce, Galatasaray, Trabzonspor, and then I went Istanbul, Işkembe, and he went, "That's not a football team. That's a local kebab shop, right?" I actually thought that the local kebab shop was the same name as a football team. I was about 6. I think I'm allowed, but yeah.
I've not been to that kebab shop. So I have to try that one.
You should, George. You should. It's
Yeah.
recommended highly.
I'll try it after the City women's game or something.
No, I'll tell you where you go down Holloway. I think it's Holloway Road. There's a La Majun restaurant. It looks like just a little cafe. I think it's called La Majuno. It's like the La Majuns, like the Turkish pizzas that they cook in the clay oven, and then you wrap them up and you put yogurt and salad in. Oh my God, I've never had them like it. It's about a 10-minute walk from the Emirates. It's definitely a meet-up point. If we ever do a meet-up, it's definitely somewhere you want to eat. Trust me.
Send a group recommendation. I'm going to do the same thing. Send it in the group. I'm happy to know more places.
Yeah. I'll put it in a group chat.
Before I forget, by the way, George and Brooksy, me and Aisha, she's my sister from another Mr. by the way, I should clarify, because everything we say, we just connect on point.
That's a bit like
Even
me.
this, you recognise even this baby
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, it's like me and George. Yeah.
How about there
He's-
you go, get a second look in if you can see it, Brooksy.
He's
go on.
Brooksy's the eyes of the relationship.
Hey. Sadly, I'm not part of that book because that's
Don't
the book
rely on
really
me.
closed, but I'm already on other things. Right? I'm on it on other things.
Yeah,
Kiss
put
and
down
tell, Mullah. Kiss and tell.
Evening to G. She's very kindly messaged. Hi G.
Hey,
Hope you're all
G.
good. Hope you're enjoying your Cornish pasties.
Oh, very nice.
Oh man, stop
Oh, I
it!
love a
Stop
Oh,
it!
Cornish
mate,
I'm
pasty.
you
getting
said
hungry
that.
thinking about it.
Fancy a Cornish pasty.
I could turn into a Cornish pasty quite easily. I've eaten so many of them down the years. Yes.
You've
Well, I
had
just wanna-
half and half ones.
Half and half.
Yeah, when
What,
you go
That's
like
new.
a scarf?
when you go to Cornwall. Shut up, you. When you go to Cornwall, because Cornish pasty, the reason it's got that thing around it was because when the miners used to eat them, they didn't used to eat that bit; they used to hold on to it. because they used to take it down the pits. So you used to hold on to it with that. That's what it's basically. It's a pastry version of a grip. And what they used to do was some of them used to put, when they used to make it, they used to put a layer of pastry in the middle to right down the middle. Half of it would be like apple and custard, and the other half would be like minced beef and onion. So the idea was you had your whole meal in one Cornish pasty.
Sounds nice. I've tried that.
Yeah, it's making me really hungry now.
Yeah.
No.
That's
I
my
want to
next
play.
holiday, I'm going to Plymouth.
Yes, you should get down there. Yeah, or get into Cornwall because you get more and more pasty shops, especially the nice little bakers. You know,
But you said crust is the
you
best
set
bit.
companies
I
and
do
then you
believe
got
that. Yes, crust is the best bit.
Oh yeah, right. I need to get off this conversation.
George,
I'm really hungry.
It's turning to master chef.
I was about to say something too, but I'll save it another
Yeah.
day. Then I'll save it before it makes you more hungry.
We're going to play a quick game quickly because Arteta's new deal. His first game was away at Bournemouth, the 19th of December. I've got his team and the team and the subs bench. Anyone want to have a hazard a guess? There's only one player left from that team that's still with Arsenal now. Who is he? It's very obvious when you think about it.
Saka.
It's got to be Saka.
Yes, there we go. Very good. Yes.
Man, you
But
nicked
good
the out
at-
of my tips of my fingers.
I mean, does anyone want to hazard a guess at some of the
Was,
players that played that day?
Was Leno the goalkeeper?
Smith Rowe.
Yes, he was. Yep, Leno was in goal. Smith Rowe was on the bench.
Okay.
It's crazy when you look at some of these names, to be honest.
Ozil's got to be there, right?
Yep, Ozil's in
Surely,
midfield, obviously.
I'm trying to think who the right back would have been.
Well, that's the thing. I can't
Bellerin.
work out. It looks
Bellerin.
like...
Oh,
No,
Giroud.
Bellerin wasn't there.
Giroud's got to be there.
No, Giroud wasn't there either.
It weren't Lichstein, was it? Oh, no.
No, I mean, I think it must have been three at the back. Or
Okay.
maybe four at the back with maybe Granit Xhaka, I'll give you one, playing there. Because it's weird. When I give you the two centre-halves,
Was it Mustafi?
no, he's on the bench.
All right. Yeah. Socrates.
Socrates.
Yes,
Maybe the Greek.
Socrates.
Oh my God, I forgot about him.
Yep, and David Luiz.
Yeah,
They're
the
two
Greek
centre
god.
backs.
And everyone,
Mate.
all the Arsenal fans are moaning now when we've got
Yeah.
big Saliba and
I know.
Gabriel.
Do you know what? That's what makes me laugh. When I had this same row with someone on a stream, I went, "Do you not really?" When they were going on about Sterling, I went, "Do you not realise a couple of years ago we had like Holding up front, like, and you're complaining."
Not Rob Holding. Was Tierney the left back?
No, he's not there. No, I think it must be Maitland-Niles.
Oh, bloody hell.
Oh.
Yeah.
But if I run for the team, so it's
go on.
Leno, Maitland-Niles, Socrates, David Luiz, Granit Xhaka, Torreira, Reece Nelson, Ozil, Saka, Aubameyang, and Lacazette up front.
Aubameyang and Lacazette, of course.
Yeah. Now the
Oh,
bench
wow.
is interesting because you think like Martinez was the sub-keeper,
Yeah.
Mustafi and Mavropanos were
Yeah.
the defenders.
Mustafi.
Joe Willock, bless him, Guendouzi, Smith Rowe, and Pepe.
You forget
Good old
Pep.
salt and pepper. Good old salt and pepper, as I
Yeah.
like calling now.
Yeah, that just shows you how far we've
So
come.
if anyone dares to moan about the fact that Arteta's manager, show them this team and then show them the team that we've got now, fully fit, obviously. And it's just crazy when you think about it, really. You know, I mean, out of that team, obviously, Granit Xhaka has missed a little bit, but
Martinelli was there, wasn't he, at the club then? It just must have been
yeah, I
injured.
think so, yeah, because obviously it's nearly 5 years ago.
But then saying that, he didn't, when Martinelli broke through, he didn't play him as much, did he? And then
No.
played him a bit more. I'm surprised that, but it just shows you like how bad the squad was. Like, and anyone with a bit of an ounce of a brain would have realised it was probably going to take a good 4 or 5 transfer windows to at least have a competent squad that can title challenge. Like, I know
With all the dramas and the bad eggs in that squad as well.
Like,
You
even
know, all
like
the
the
personalities.
drama, he's had to deal with the Aubameyang drama, even the Ozil drama as well. I
Yes.
think.
And the
And then-
wages, you know, how much they were on a week. You know,
Yeah,
he's had
so
to
like,
get rid of them.
yeah, that's crazy. I forgot about Maitland-Niles, and he only played us the other week, didn't he?
I know
When-
it's like I've got my mum and dad have got a foster daughter, so she's like my foster sister, so to speak, and she's 14. And when she first started living with us, she we took her to a couple of games, sort of just to, like when you just try to incorporate somebody into the family and whatever.
Yeah.
And she's massive on Arsenal, like she's crazy on Arsenal now. But the player that she like loved, and literally to the point we got him on the back of her shirt, and I swear the guy looked at me in the Arsenal shop like, this is the only person I've ever put this shirt like.
I hope it was Cedric.
No, she was absolutely obsessed with Mustafi. For some reason, we have no idea why.
No.
And she was
He
like,
did score against Spurs once. We beat him.
And he was a World Cup winner.
But she was like, she said to me, "Is his what's his first name?" I went, "Why'd you say that?" She went, "Does it begin with Y?" She was only 6, 7 at the time. I know she was younger than that. And then I said, "I don't think so. Why is that?" She went, "Well, because whenever I say to anyone that my favourite player is they say why."
Why? Yeah, fair play. Yeah.
Fair play.
Each to their own. Yeah.
That stock could be worth a lot of money.
I have a soft spot for Rob Holding, to be fair.
Yeah, he always scored against City, didn't he?
No, he did a right in the cup finals.
Yeah.
Got man of the match. Yeah,
And he's with his hair as well. Like, got to be proud of that.
I'm only jealous. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was jealous of that. Yeah.
To be fair, I've got a bit of
Well,
a
he did
soft
twice.
spot
He
for
did it
Zinchenko.
twice.
Yeah.
I've got a bit of a soft spot for Zinchenko. I think he takes a lot of bashing. And actually, the problem with Zinchenko for me, right, is he's one of them players that if his love of the club matched his skill, he would be Messi or Ronaldo. But his passion and love of the club
I never
does
thought
not match his skill, right?
I'd never thought I'd hear Zinchenko, Ronaldo, and Messi in the same set.
You get what I mean, though,
Same.
right? He
I
loves
literally
the
said that
club.
too.
He loves the club. Like, I think it was his wife had the lyrics to his chant put on his birthday cake last year. If you follow me on Instagram, she had "Always believe in your soul, Zinchenko," or whatever. And I was like, oh, it's just a shame that you're a little bit crap, really.
Yeah, me and George
Easy,
are
Tiger,
fans.
easy.
Yeah.
I love him though. Like, I love it. I do love him because I watched him against Wolves, and my God, he was playing like he was like fresh out of the academy. Mind you,
Was he? What's that game? He's getting my bloody nerves.
I thought
Bad academy.
I thought he did, to be fair, I thought he did try really hard on the first game of the season. But I think the other reason I think I got a bit of a soft spot for him was I saw his rap video, and I really have you ever seen that?
No.
I'd rather not.
I have.
I'll put it in the group chat so you can see. Before he was a footballer in Ukraine, he tried to have a rap career.
Oh, okay. It can't be any worse than trying to play full back.
He can't even defend the football, but defend the lyrics.
Oh, I have to try and find that, haven't it?
Eminem, he's not.
Yeah.
He's trying. He's
More
trying to do something else before football, didn't he? He tried to do something.
Not Eminem.
Yeah.
He's not Eminem, more like Boney M.
I like Boney, to be fair. That's a decent hours listening. That's the Boney M.
Yeah.
Oh no, highly recommend it. Banger after banger. Anyway, I feel like we digress slightly.
We've gone way off there.
Yeah, but anyway, so going back to the big game on Sunday. So obviously
Back
2
to
o'clock
football,
kickoff, I
guys.
believe.
Back to football, please.
Obviously, Spurs. I'm trying to think. So the first game of the season, they drew away to Leicester. They should have been out of sight in the first half, but Vardy sorted them out. They beat Everton 4-0, but Everton are so poor at the moment. It's hard to say. Well, obviously it's a good result, but Everton's beating Everton at the moment. They lost to Newcastle, didn't they? 2-1. And again, there's another game where they're creating a lot of chances, but missing them. Obviously Solanke, the big signing, hasn't scored yet, but he's been injured. I have no idea if he's still injured. I'm not going to lie. So
He'll be back.
obviously, we all know if he does play, he hasn't scored yet. We probably know what might happen because it always seems to happen to us.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from that, I mean, I think it's probably bite me in the arse. But obviously, we beat them last year, 3-0 up and coasting, and they got a bit silly at the end. It was very hairy and scary, and it was just horrendous. But we won. I mean, Our defence is there. David Raya has been our best player this season for me. At the moment, he's been absolutely, his confidence is sky high. The saves he's making are just superb. He played for Spain the other night and he was very good. Helps out for goal. Defensively, I'm not worried. I mean, obviously they've got to come and have a go. I mean, that's how Ange sets up his teams. So, the crowd will get behind them. But if we can do, Bez, what we did last season, get off to a great start, then, I'll back us to win.
Yeah, I agree.
think so. Sorry, you finish. Don't worry.
No, I was going to say, do you know what? I wasn't bothered about the North London derby because it is what it is. But I always tried to have an air of snobbiness about it, that I would pretend it was beneath me to worry about it because we're the better team in North London. And I used to be more interested in Man United in the day and then Man City now because I was like, they're only Spurs. Like, why? I'm not gonna give them rent in my head, sort of, rent free and all that crap. But after what happened last season, with their fans wearing City shirts and their fans singing Blue Moon, right? It is effing game on, my son. I hate them now because I'd never do that. You'd never catch me in another team shirt. I'd rather die. So when I see things like that, I'm like, you are actually a very pathetic fan base. So every time we can beat you, I am gonna love it, and I'm gonna Kevin Keegan love it. I'm gonna love it, right? So
Okay.
there you go. I would drop
Yeah,
one, but I don't have one.
It just sums them up as a football club, though, doesn't it? They can't win anything themselves to get any success, so they have to latch on to
You know
someone
what I'll
else.
say though? You know what I'll say is, and you know me, Brooksy, last year when I had my round, and I'll say it again. They can bloody to dare to do, but they can F you back to Tottenham because you saw how unclassed the fan base is. How can you be supporting an opposing team to make sure we suffer? Yes, we're your rival, yes. But let the football do the talking. Let your team do the talking. You can see how they celebrate. Even their own manager turned around to the fans. Why are you celebrating City scoring against you? How does that work?
If they won the game, they would have got top four. It's just, it's
Well,
crazy.
and more kit in the bank.
And let's face it, right? How much better? This is why I feel like a lot of them have they have no concept of the wider picture. Their achievement is beating Arsenal. Like, I've said it before, I have a lot more. I never used to like Man United fans and Man United for obvious reasons, right? But as things have progressed, I've got a lot more respect for United fans. And the reason I do is they don't have the same ridiculousness with City that Spurs do with us. They sit back and they go, we are crap, right? We are, God knows what is going on, but our time will come. We're United. We'll be there again. We just got to wait this out. They don't sit there cheering every time City lose or every time something doesn't go their way. That's the United fans I know. They are a very different caliber of, to be fair, it's kind of the same with Everton and Liverpool. I don't see this. They're so obsessed with getting one above us. It's absolutely ridiculous. And the joke is they're so short-sighted. If they had made top four last season and got Champions League football, they would have got money where they could have improved their squad. They were more interested in doing us out of a Premier League than they cost themselves about 100 million. That's the first thing. And the other thing is, if you had beaten City, right, and then we went and stuffed it up on the last game of the season, right, you could have forever had that over our heads that you handed us the title and we threw it away. But too short-sighted. That's the problem with them.
Two messages from Coach Jordas. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch us. The title wasn't won or lost in the first 10 games. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Very true.
Yep,
Although
totally
we can't really afford to lose many more games. Or we haven't done it yet. But it's just Man City are just a relentless machine. So to be fair to Spurs, us Gunners did Liverpool in the air, but that's completely different. I would have had to live on the moon if they'd won the Champions League.
Do you know what? I'm going to be honest with
horrendous.
you. I just switched off from that. And the reason I
No, I
switched
couldn't. Awful.
The reason I wasn't interested in that game at all was because I thought if I do what they want me to do, I'm just as bad as them. So I just went out. Do you know what? Someone had to remind me the other day it was Liverpool they played in the final. And then when some Spurs fan at work was giving it to me about Liverpool, they went, well, we've been in the Champions League final. I went, so have we. Did you win it? No, neither did we. At least our opponents were Barcelona, and we had the incredible team that had Henry in it, and we still couldn't win. I said, like, I'm not being funny. You know, you can't even compare the two. So, yeah,
we don't talk about the Champions League defeats last on here. It makes me really sad.
Yeah, me and all.
It's just we just don't talk about it. It's just, yeah, we don't bring that.
The run was special, though, Brooksy. The run that we had in that run was special.
Yeah, it was. But again, I just can't. It just makes me too sad. What it should have been.
Hey, look.
But, you know,
one thing, fair enough. But in our Arsenal defenses for these, like Tottenham, as Aisha says, I used to learn to kind of like enjoy the rivalry, kind of embrace the rivalry. But as Henri said, when we won the title in 2004, they had to basically get a point for them to stay up, and then still we got a point against them, and then Henri got told, "Don't celebrate." Henri was like, excuse me. You won the point. You celebrated, big deal. Won the title, big deal. But we're gonna celebrate. And Henri, and you watched that little clip. Henri just
who was that player? Was it Mauricio Taricco? Wasn't it? The fullback.
Yeah.
Ricky for his name now. Yeah, the fullback there.
Right. My one concern is I don't want to harp on about too much because obviously we know what happened in the Brighton game and you know the special referee. Try and move on, but obviously the ref this Sunday is Jarrod Gillett. Again, another joke, which worries me. I'm hoping that we don't get screwed over again. It'll be very interesting to see whether if anyone kicks a ball away, it's going to be a yellow card. So that'll be very interesting. Hopefully we'll have to talk about the officials because we just want them to do a good job. And hopefully the players do the job on the pitch. I mean, George, I don't know about you. I'm not going to lie because obviously I was on holiday when obviously the transfer window and we got Sterling. And I didn't really get rid of. I kept an eye on it, but I didn't really say too much. I wasn't overjoyed to begin with, but now I've come round to the idea, and I don't know if everyone's seen the clips in training. I mean, I don't know if it's good in training. What I have seen, he looks very, very hungry, very keen, very quick. Looks to be.
Oh,
we lost someone there.
He's paused in an incredibly dynamic position, though. He's gone.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll carry on.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically what Brooksy was saying about how good Sterling was looking. Was I that? I wasn't that thrilled at first, as people know. But I think chatting to Liam and Jones it kind of made me realise. I think he was what we needed at the time. He's Premier League experience. He's got that winning mentality. We need someone to help rotate on the wing, and he's got a point to prove, hasn't he? Bez, do you think he'll start on Sunday? I'm not so sure.
I've said it the other week, and I'll say it again. First and foremost, Martinelli is short in confidence. He needs a lift. Trossard is more, for me. He has to accept it. He's more like impact sub. For what I see with Sterling is, I think for me, just throw him in the deep end. But also, I think he looks hungry because he wants to give us that little lift that every squad needs. You can see it. You see that that fire runs through his belly on the maybe then left channel. And we need more of the width. Like Saka needs someone on the other side because always Saka is doing all the hard work. But on the left side, sometimes no one there, sadly, Yeah. So I think, he has to start on Sunday for me.
Yeah. Aisha, do you think he'll start? Do you think he'll come off the bench or do you think he'll start? Because I think having Saka and Sterling on both the wings is quite dangerous, isn't it?
I would definitely start him. The thing is with Sterling, I was very much like you, George. I was so like, someone at work told me about 1:00 in the afternoon that we'd been shown interest, and I was effing and jeffing around the water cooler, to put it bluntly. But someone said it to me on a stream that evening. They'd looked up some stats and they said that he played on average 65 minutes of every game. And then a light bulb went on my head and I went, oh my God, he's rotation for Martinelli and Trossard. That's going to work up front, isn't it? And then I started to think, well, he only left. Then I started reading a lot more online. It was like he only left City because his house kept getting raided. In fact, 2 of his Premier League medals were stolen.
Yeah.
He took the first deal that came up that could match his wages, and that was Chelsea. And it was far enough away that he could almost have another secure home where it wouldn't happen again, because a lot of the Chelsea players live in very gated communities.
Yeah.
And then I started to think, do you know what? Chelsea have pretty much put him on the scrap heap. This is not a scrap heap player. And do you know what I was thinking to myself? I said a couple of months ago, we need a striker that's got something to prove, that wants to be that key player that helps us win something, so they can say with their ego, I helped to do this. But I think with Sterling, it's a little bit more evolved than that. I think he wants to do that for 2 reasons. One, he wants to obviously help Arsenal do it. He's made that very clear. But the other thing, I think that he's got something to prove to the way Chelsea treated him. And that fire, I think, is going to be enough to tip us over the edge. So by midnight, I was definitely a lot more excited. And then when I started seeing all the promo stuff, I looked at my husband and we went, this ain't just a loan deal. They don't do this much promo for a loan deal. I'm not saying he isn't on loan, but I'm definitely thinking there's more in this than we know about.
Yeah, I definitely think we go back in next summer and like offer a deal. I think what tipped me a bit over the edge with it as well was like I think a lot of people have forgot the work that Arteta done with Raheem Sterling at Man City.
That's another thing that tipped me as well. Definitely.
Yeah, we're back in the room.
That's right. Brooksy, I just co-hosted while you weren't here.
Yeah, you could have got. I could hear you all. I could see you all, and I'm breaking. Mission didn't bring me back up.
I couldn't see you anyway, so don't
yeah,
know.
My internet died, and that was it.
That's right. I'll hand it back to you now. So.
Yeah, you're doing a grand job.
No worries.
Predictions for the big game on Sunday. Then, before we move on, we'll talk about the Chelsea City game coming up. I'm going to go first. I'm going to say, fuck it, 5-1. Let's go for it. Go on, go home. Yeah, I can't have the jaws or any negativity. You never know. But yeah, I fancy our chances. I do think Sterling will play, and I think he might do all right. But we shall see. Bez, yourself?
I'll be a bit more on the safe side because last time I came from holiday and we played Tottenham, ironically, was 2007 when a certain Adebayo scored. And I hate saying that name because I have nothing against him personally, but just the memories, the way he left us, sadly. But yeah, 3-1.
I was at a game, he got sent off. It's all right. I have good memory.
I feel better now. Thank you. At least one of us has the other side of it. Yeah. Fair enough. 3-1. Saka has to score an assist. Hope Sterling gets in the act. I hope Havertz scores. I wanted to do that. The cupping of the year, which I just love when he does that.
Yeah, he scored in the
3-1.
international break as well. I share yourself.
I think they're going to go one up against us and we're going to destroy them 3-1. I think we're going to rip the shreds out of them. I think they will get a lucky goal. I think they'll catch us off unawares very early on. And I think we'll be like, nah, you're not doing this to us. But I do think it's going to still end 3-1.
And George?
I think it'd be 2-0. I think defensively we're really good. Unless our defence fall asleep or give them an opportunity, I don't really see, well, literally more than one way, don't see Tottenham scoring. So I'm being positive, so I'll go 2-0. I don't know who will score. I don't know who I'll have to score. I think Saka will score, but
I think Big Gabriel might pop out of a header.
Yeah,
they're rubbish. That's the thing with corners. Their keeper is really ropey.
Yeah,
look how soft.
Look how soft we made him so soft last season, Bukayo. Like with Ben White basically made him look like he was, I don't know.
Him and Havertz, they'll wind up Romero. Hope he'll boot one of them and get sent off.
Yeah. And you know what Havertz is like. He knows the dark arts, doesn't he? So.
Yeah, no, I see it.
So does good old Ben White. I mean, my favourite memory against Spurs was when we beat them 5-2. Purely because I was at that game.
Which one was that?
The first.
Which one?
First time.
Yeah, no. Quality. I was at the second one.
So I was there, and I never do this, right? I'm the sort of person that if we were losing like 5-6-0, I'd still be sat in the ground. I have this thing about being really obstinate and going, I'm not going. I paid for this ticket. Like, I'm just really weird like that. But when it was what 2-0 near enough half time, and I went, I'm going to get a drink. My mum looked at me like, you don't leave before the end of the, like, you know, I went, I'll come, I'm going to get a drink. And then I think we got one goal back.
Yeah, Sanya header.
Yeah, and then it was half time, I think. And then
I think it was 2-2 half time, I think.
Oh yeah, no, that's right. Because what happened was
scored just before half time.
Because I remember that's it. Because I was trying to work out how it happened in my head. So I'm down in the concourse getting my drink. I'm growling to myself about how shit this team is, you know, as we all have done in the past. And then all of a sudden there was this, and like we got the like, it was 2-1. I was like, all right, consolation bloody goal, you know. Then all of a sudden there was this almighty rumbling, and it was, I kid you not, it was so funny. I wish I'd have filmed it. From round where I'm in block 103, so from about like 106 round that way, I could see just a wave of tsunami of beer coming round towards me, where people were just throwing their drinks in the air, their cups in the air. This bloke put me on his shoulders. I was like, I felt like they were acting like we'd won the league. And it was just like, it was because we were drawing at half time. And then obviously we know what happened. But that was the craziest experience. And when I got back to my seat and we obviously scored the other 3 goals in the second half, I went to my mum, has someone put something in the water? Because this game does not reflect what happened in the first half. That was, I wasn't at the second one, the second time we beat them 5-2, because it was my birthday and we were away. But yeah, that's definitely a very fun memory I won't forget anytime soon.
Lots of interesting.
I've got another one, but you guys will hate me even more.
Oh, go on.
Well, basically, the year before pandemic, I went like maybe to like 8-9 home games, quite a lot actually. I don't know how I just managed to go to so many, like Europa League, Premier League, up and down. One of my managers now, who was a Tottenham fan, ironically, when Tottenham had the Wembley Stadium, he made me sit in the Spurs end. So basically, I was in Wembley Stadium above the Arsenal fans. Oh, poor George Go now. I wanted to hear that.
George has had enough. George is like, I can't.
George. Well, he's got another show coming up. He's invisible.
So what happened? I sat on the Spurs, and so when Arsenal Aaron Ramsey scored to make it 1-0, I was like, fine, I can't celebrate. I'm hiding my blue Arsenal shirt. You know the Puma 1 blue? So I looked like Tottenham fan in disguise, and imagine that. So fine, I can't celebrate. I'm in the Tottenham man, fine. Then it was 1-1. I thought, again, I can't celebrate. The guy who was not even Tottenham fan right next to me turns around. Why is he not celebrating? I thought, I'm not going to celebrate a draw, even if I'm a secret Arsenal fan in disguise. But then in front of me, the last minute, Aubameyang being his first season, remember beginning, he was a bit shaky when he first joined us. He had a pen at the last minute. Somehow, I think Hugo Lloris, taunted him or something, and then just missed the penalty right in front of me. I was like, for goodness sake, lad, why didn't Lacazette take it instead? Up to this day, I'll never forget, I sat next to Spurs fans in bloody Wembley Stadium, support my team in disguise, but I couldn't celebrate even the 1 point that we had. But at home, at least we beat them, I think, was it 4-2 as well, the same season?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
The memories. I mean, I've got pictures, so I might have to do a little slideshow at some point, just of games this year gone by. Have some back up just a bit.
I keep forgetting they played at Wembley at one point.
Yeah, I
was there.
Wembley Cup final? Oh no, I don't get to them. Yeah, that's annoying.
Before I forget, actually, the best one was hearing Jewel Fates out loud. I was like, oh my god, I forgot they have Jewel Fates in the background. What the hell is going on here? You know, just squealing like cat in the background, thinking, what the hell? Star Wars? Spurs? I was like, that doesn't add up. But I thought, okay, oh well, enjoy the music. Get on with it. Literally, I was like this. I don't know what to do. Because my supervisor sat different seat to me, of course, and I was like, I can't do nothing. I literally was poker face. You imagine, even the end, they toned it off fans, because they're below us. And I started me being this person. I was like, I can't even tone my own fans, of course. And I look behind almost to say to them, guys, like, I come in peace, but like, you know what, just let the game finish, let the clap away some of the football when all these fans go. Just don't celebrate at least this 1 point, in front of these lot. Never.
Fair play for doing that.
I tried, but then I couldn't do too much. I saw this person near me. I thought, Not with these ones around me. Definitely, I can't celebrate in disguise now. I can't do that.
I wouldn't
So
be able
I've
to do that
got,
at all.
I've got. So my godson's a massive Arsenal fan. His mum is my cousin, but she's more like my sister. So when he was born, like I'm his godmum. But her brother married a girl, and they are all Spurs season ticket holders, right?
My brother's a Spurs fan.
Oh, you'll love this. So their little boy was born on the same birthday as me. So the only kid in my family that shares a birthday with me is a Spurs supporter.
Oh,
So,
hope you don't buy him anything. Just keep buying Arsenal shirts every year.
to be fair, he's not. He went to me once. Oh, I'm not actually massively into football. I went, no, of course you're not. Your family supports Spurs.
Yeah, that must be a miserable household. It must be so depressing every weekend. Oh, what's happened, Mum and Dad? Oh, we've lost again. Oh, okay.
Not being funny,
so
but
depressing.
when Jamie
Well,
Vardy,
you guys say that.
what?
No, you finish because my he's answer. That's why.
No, I just said when Jamie Vardy's giving you stick, you know something's wrong.
Yeah, that was funny.
I loved it for that. Even though he didn't join us, when I wanted to join us, I love when Vardy did that celebration. I was like, that was beautiful.
He's only saying what everyone else is thinking.
Of course.
And
To
he'll
dare
back
to
up.
do, right? As they say, to dare to do.
He's won a league, you know, and a cup. You know, he's won. It's crazy. You've won 2 medals. Harry Kane's won none. Absolutely mental.
Yeah.
So obviously, after the Spurs game, the Champions League is back. And bizarrely, I mean, I don't know if you can tell me, we're on a Thursday night. Anyone know why?
No idea. I mean, I'm not going to either of them because midweek games are really hard for me where I live now. So I always let my brother
Where do you live?
I'm just outside of Maidstone now.
Oh, you're not far from me. I'm in Raynham.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's funny. I had no idea.
I don't like the story of everybody else. We had to move out of sort of, out of London because it's too bloody expensive. So, so what I do is on a Friday night, if we're playing on the Saturday, or the Saturday, if we're playing on the Sunday, I go stay at my parents because it's £41.50 for a return from here. It's about £13 from my parents in Sidcup. So I go there, and we always do the same thing. It's funny how you have your little rituals. I always get the train to London Bridge, Northern Line to Angel, and walk the rest of the way. That's my little thing because I don't really like the tubes, but I quite like the walk, unless it's pouring down and whatever. But so that's how I travel there. But I would probably get home about 1 o'clock in the morning with a Champions League game.
Yeah, it's the same here. I've got about midnight, and then being a postie, I'm up at 5, 6 in the morning. It can be a real struggle.
I've only seen one.
Well, I'm up at 6 as well, so I know exactly what you mean.
It's a struggle.
I've seen only one Champions League game, which against. I've seen only one Champions League game, which Olympiacos, ironically, and when Ospina dropped the ball in that. Sorry, Brooks, again, Champions League heartache. Basically, when I dropped the ball, I went home like I think maybe 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, even though I'm a Londoner. But it's just like waking up the next day. And literally, I was at to work when we lost that game. I was like Greek tragedy to his maximum end. But the worst one was I see Olympiacos again in the Europa League. I was like, why is it again this team beats Arsenal in the European competition?
In the early thinking years, we used to get them every season.
And twice they beat us. Yeah.
All the time. I've seen them with Fenerbahce and who's the other ones? We used to get them like every year in the group stage. It's like,
Panathinaikos. What's another one we had? I know the story about Galatasaray very well. I don't want to talk about it too much, but I've read about it and I've seen some clips about it, which are not fun to hear what happened. But hey,
no. So obviously, Latin on Thursday. And I presume it's 8 o'clock kickoff. I mean, I haven't really.
But why is it Thursday though? Sorry to cut you
I don't know
why is the game on Thursday?
I know they've got this new format now. Obviously, it's not a group stage anymore. Well, it is a group stage, but it's not a group stage. And we're playing 7 other teams or 8 teams.
Inter, Sporting again, Sporting Lisbon again.
Yeah, we've got PSG at home.
I'm not seeing the group again fully, but I know we're playing.
Yeah, we've got Girona. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I have no idea how it works. I don't know. Is it a league table and the top whatever go through? I haven't got a clue.
Top 8, I think top 8. Top 8, I think that's how it works. Top 8.
I'm going to say something really controversial here, and if you never have me back on, that's totally fine.
No, don't know that.
I will.
I prefer the FA Cup over the Champions League all day, every day.
Yeah, fair enough. I love the FA Cup.
And then the reason I do is because until we are really established, I just sometimes feel like it's a run wasted because we're not going to win it. We're not going to win it in the foreseeable future. But the thing I love about the FA Cup is that you could get drawn against like Maidstone United, and then these players have never played the calibre of the players at Arsenal. You get drawn away where Maidstone holds about 5,000-6,000 seats, and it's bringing so much experience, revenue, exposure to these English clubs. It's an old competition. It's like, and I know what people will say to me, that I'm mad for saying that, but I have a real soft spot for the FA Cup, and I know that it's not the right hip and thing to say, and I know logistically, it's much better to even be at this stage of the Champions League because the financial side it brings in, the exposure, the way that the European clubs will take you seriously, and all this stuff. But if someone said to me, "Here is a Champions League final ticket, here is an FA Cup final ticket," I'm really sorry. I would take an FA Cup final ticket, and I'm going to go now, and I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, kick her out. Kick her out. No, I had to.
We have won it 14 times. You can't really argue with it. And you're right. It is so hard to win the Champions League. Real Madrid are probably going to win it again. I mean, you would expect.
Oh, please no, man. They've won it too many times, man.
Well,
they won it way too many times. Sorry.
They've got Bellingham and Mbappe and Vinicius Junior. I mean, Man City could stop them. I mean, I think that's why they've done this, changed this format, because obviously it could be very interesting, because obviously the group stages can be a bit boring, but this time around there's going to be fresh games every week, and I think a lot of teams are going to be beating each other. I think it's going to be not necessarily a free-for-all, but I think it's going to be very close in regards to who goes up, because there's a lot of potential banana skins.
I do think we will eventually win it, and I do think, just like the FA Cup, there is a certain extent of luck of the draw, because all the big clubs can knock each other out, and then you can end up with, we've seen it happen before. But yeah, I just think maybe it's because I got really nice family memories of us winning the FA Cup and going up North London when we've paraded the trophy and stuff like that, and but it's just. Yeah, at the moment, I just don't see our name written on that. But I really think we need to go for that this year, for the FA Cup, for two reasons.
We'll certainly do a good run in the Cup. Yeah. We've had some stinker draws recently.
We need to do it because we need a trophy for morale. But also, no one thought that United were going to beat City last year, and now United are one behind us. And I don't, as an Arsenal fan, I don't want to lose that record. I know to some people it means nothing, but it does, because that's the old rivalry. We can talk about Spurs all we want, but you all know on this panel some of the best games we've ever played have been against United. And that's the rivalry to me, that it still burns. Even United in their weird transition, God knows what they're doing. If they beat us, that would still burn. Right? Still would.
No, definitely.
You know what's funny? With me as well, Aisha's so right. Even with other teams that we have rivalries, United is like, it's what made me love the passion of this league, because I moved to England when I was 11, and you probably hate me for saying this, but I was maybe transitioned from a young boy to a teenager. I think I must have this bluish United shirt. I told my uncle, why do I have to wear this shirt? Is it why? And then one of them was a Chelsea fan, the other one who passed away in 2010 was a United fan. Somehow it was close to me, but I didn't know he was a United fan until before he passed away. And then everyone told me, why did you pick Arsenal? You could have picked Chelsea. I was like, excuse me, what? Why would I pick Chelsea first and foremost? He said, no, but everyone, Albania close to Italy, blah, blah, blah. I said, no. The French affiliation, the Vavavoom, that advert with Renault and Henry would just killed it for me. But, and I said again, Brooks, you already know this, Dennis Bergkamp made me love Arsenal. And I've got a shirt with his name. I mean, I wish we had these legends back as coaches in our club. The legends before the current ones, is, the Welshers and type, Just those names.
Oh, yeah.
I've only ever had a crush on one Arsenal player. This is so embarrassing to admit. I was about 15, 16. Do you know who I used to love? I mean, he hardly ever played, and when
Mike
he played, when he used to play, this is so embarrassing to admit. When he used to play, I used to record him for the last 10 minutes he used to play. Do you remember Stephen Hughes?
Hi, Stevens. Yeah.
Rings a bell. It rings a bell to me as well.
I think he scored twice against United once, 3-0. He scored a couple of goals in midfield. Yeah,
I was at 16. I was in love with him, right? So embarrassing. But you know what? I had his name on my shirt. I must have been the only person in the world that ever bloody got out of it. I've still got it at my mum's, I think. But it does, it does come up every now in conversation because he's a fireman now, apparently. But he does a lot of things with the Arsenal podcast, I think.
Yeah, I think he's been on the show before. I think he's been on a few Arsenal things.
My mum was taking the mick out of me because he was on some podcast she was watching. She was going, "Oh, look who it is!" I was like, "Oh, shut up!" Right?
Yeah, I thought went for a stage, just scoring a few goals and centre mid. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he left us and went to Reading, didn't he? And then that was it.
I think he had a few injuries. I think. Yeah.
Oh dear.
That's a blast in the past. There you go. How Stephen is. There you go. Never know if you're watching Stephen. There you go.
No, I'm a married woman now.
Yeah, that was then. This is now.
Yeah, and I'm not getting rid of my husband. So, because to bring it back full circle, he bought me the Lincoln Park ticket. So I'm not.
Oh yeah. You're forever grateful now. Yeah. He's a hero.
Yeah, still to that is bitter, more like done.
Do you want to know the worst of it? I feel really guilty at the moment because not only has he bought it for my birthday, his birthday is the day of the actual gig.
Oh,
and
wow.
he's telling me to go because he went to all festivals when he was younger and he saw them 6 times. And he's like, this is not a big birthday for me. And I know you never got to see them. And he was like, no, I want you to go. And I was like, oh my God, you're only buying it for my birthday. I'm going on your birthday. And he's picking me up afterwards. I'm like, oh my God.
He's a keeper.
And he's an Arsenal fan.
There you go. Can't go wrong. There you go. We are the best.
We are the best.
Yeah.
Class is permanent. That's what I say, guys. Class is permanent.
Absolutely. And on that happy note, I think we're going to call it a night because I think, Bez, you've got another show in.
Yeah, we both have.
Right? I need to
chance to go to the toilet.
I need to get ready for the next one now.
I want to go and have my dinner.
I've had mine.
Please do.
Yeah, no, I was going to have it beforehand, but I wasn't hungry. I thought I'll get the show done. But then we kept talking about pasties. I was like, I'm really hungry now.
All right.
Yeah, I need the mixed one. I need the mixed mince in the pie one. I need the mixed one.
It's disappeared again. Oh no.
Oh.